I'm still giving English lessons to my kid, to my young
Excellent.
kid. He scored 10 out of 10 in grammar. I'm really proud. I'm really proud of him.
Excellent. Excellent. That's
Yeah,
fantastic to hear. Fantastic
yeah.
news. How old is he?
He's 11. He's 11.
Okay. Okay. So still plenty of years left for more and more
Yes,
English education.
really, really. He's a talent. It's easy
How,
to. He's a real talent. It's easy to teach him.
yeah, he's
Really.
enthusiastic. I
Yeah,
usually find if
yeah,
someone's got enthusiasm, okay, it's easy then. It's easier when they're
yeah.
working hard, they're motivated. And
Really.
how often do you teach him?
Once a week. Once a week.
Okay, yeah, so not so often then. It's only one lesson a week.
Yeah.
There's only
Yeah.
so much you can do with once a week.
See, it's the right schedule. Last time he had the regular verbs, Saxon genitive, which is a residue of Roman Empire in England, I think. Uh,
What's that? I don't think I know that.
no, no. For example, Stephanos Car, Stephanos Car, Dave's lesson. Instead
Okay,
of the lesson of David,
okay, okay, I
Dave's
see.
lesson. No, so
Yeah, it is a genitive case, so I agree.
yes,
Putting the apostrophe
yes,
S.
yes, which is a remembrance of Latin because
Absolutely.
yeah, that's why. And then some other things, some other grammar topics.
I think you can still see it on the S at the end of his and those or whose. You can still see that S sound at the end of the possessive. That's what I mean, like
Ah,
Dave's,
true, true,
James,
true,
his, whose.
true.
Um, I don't want to say theirs because it's usually there, but anyway, yeah, it's all genitive case. It's
Yeah,
the old form of the genitive case, and so we did have cases in English, certainly.
yeah, yeah. And so yeah, I was teaching him this topic and some other. But I lately I'm reading some old Marvel's comics.
It
Uh,
sounds better to say lately. I have been reading. I've been reading. Yeah, just
okay,
because of the lately. Lately I've been reading sounds better
I,
to me.
I've been reading some old Marvel's comics, just as Spider-Man, something like this, X-Men,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
X-Men. Huh? Okay, and I'm a little bit in difficulty because there are plenty of abbreviations, and sometimes it looks like a genitives, but it's not. It's,
Okay.
for example, Dave is a teacher, becoming Dave's teacher, Dave's teacher, Dave's apostrophe S teacher.
Dave's
So
a teacher. A teacher still.
Dave's
It'll
a
have to.
teacher. Dave's a
Uh-huh.
teacher, and so maybe when you first read, you think, this is a genitive, and instead no, and instead is the abbreviation of the verb to be, or
Yeah.
sometimes there is the abbreviation of the verb to have, and plenty of abbreviation, uh,
I'm sure they do it all the time in comics.
all the
The
time,
yeah,
all
the
the time,
apostrophe.
all the time. and and it's not easy also to learn how to pronounce this kind of situation. For example, when there is what apostrophe ll, what it will be, what will be, what will be. So it's not easy to enter in this kind of, because for example I'm used to say it will be,
I'm used to
I'm used
saying.
to saying it will be instead of
Uh-huh.
it will be, it will be, it will be.
Yeah, I mean, both
Contraction.
are correct. Firstly, both are
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
What will be, what will be, and comics, I think, are very good at showing you how we do, when we do usually shorten the word, and that's all they're doing. They're showing you that, yeah, we do often say what'll,
Bottle,
it'll. I think
it'll.
after it, we very often do it. It'll, but yeah, there are a lot of shortened words, at the end of the sentence. Very
And
often people
instead,
say in it. And
what
they
is the
mean
right?
isn't it? They mean isn't it? But we shorten it now
Yeah,
to in it, or
in it.
especially in this area,
It's
um,
craziness.
people will say in it, and they mean isn't it, but they've just shortened it even more to in it.
And instead, what is the pronunciation of uh, what would it be? Abbreviate what apostrophe d it be.
What
What
did
did
it be? Yeah. Yeah. What did it be? Yeah.
what did
I
it?
think we actually say what would usually. They're trying to show that we speed up. But
Yeah.
yeah, I agree that we don't usually say what'd. It would usually be what would. I would never short. I
But
would always say what would.
I found this case a lot of times. I
Yeah.
found it
In comics especially, they do it
in
all the
comics.
time in comics. I agree. They always shorten, even in time, even at times perhaps when we don't shorten it. And yeah, so what would I would always use two words there. I think it's impossible. I agree with you. What'd okay, maybe
What
when
did,
you hear people speaking very quickly, because people do speak fast in various situations. And so yeah,
sometimes I heard it also in TV series, especially
what'd. Yeah.
yes, kind of CSI, this kind of TV series that they really have a fast speech, so they tend to abbreviate everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Sometimes sometimes it sounds to me like another language.
uh-huh.
For example, if I talk to you, I recognize English. Sometimes when I listen to some TV series, I think this is another language. I'm really sometimes I'm really disappointed also with myself because I
Yeah,
say,
relax, because I feel the same. I can give you an example of which show as well. True Detective, that first season, I wrote some exercises for it as well, but the first season of True Detective, where they had the two very famous actors. I don't know if you've all seen this show, but one of them talks in such a it's south of the United States, not South America, but south of the United States, a really thick kind of Louisiana accent. I think it's
mm-hmm,
that state. And I've got no idea what he's saying a lot of the time. And I felt exactly the same when I went to Ireland and spoke to some of the locals. I don't know what they're saying a lot of the time.
it's so relieving. It's so
It's such a
relieving.
different language. And so yeah, relax. There are always some accents which are really, really hard. And there used to be some comedy shows on English TV about it. There would be a Scotsman. There was a show called Rab C. Nesbitt, and it was about this
Uh-huh.
Scotsman called Rab C. Nesbitt. It was a comedy show. People my age will remember it, maybe, maybe. It was on BBC Two, and I remember that the whole joke, the whole comedy was all that you couldn't understand a word that anybody was saying. And in some parts of Scotland, for people where I come from people in the southeast, we'll find it really difficult with some Scotsmen, some Irishmen, some Welshmen as well, I suppose.
Okay, it's relieving, Dave,
Yeah,
hearing
so
this because
relax.
okay.
It's the same in America as well. Certain states, as I say, the South, I think they have a really thick drawl. I remember meeting an American guy in Moscow years ago as well, and he was from the southern states, and I just couldn't understand him. It was such a thick accent that it was really hard for me. And so,
I
yeah,
think
it's
that
not just you.
this is a characteristic of English language because, for example, in Italy, we have dialects, but dialects it's another thing. I think that you also have dialects in regions or towns. I think that you have, but what I see is that also the formal English is different if there is another accent. Is it sounds different. Instead, here in
Yes,
Italy,
I agree.
if we talk Italian, yeah, we can tell that person is coming from the south and coming from the north from
Comes
the
from, not
accent.
is coming from. We can tell that person comes from the south.
Comes
Yeah.
from the south, come from
Uh-huh.
the north. But
Uh-huh.
Italian is Italian. Instead, if they talk dialect, it's clear that dialect is not Italian. And instead, I what I see is that English changes uh, from area to area. It's not dialect. It's really another kind of English. This is the difference. It's not
Yeah,
dialect.
I think you're right. I think it's because we've got an international language now and it's spoken
Right.
in so many different places. I feel like there are some things which I consider not English, or I consider them mistakes. I think that some things have come into the language because it's an international language. And so I mean that some things which to me sound foreign have come into the language because it's so widely spoken now. And so many times, for me, impact is never a verb, to impact. But I see that everybody uses it now as a verb. It's strange for me. It's a noun, and as I grew up, I only heard it used as a noun. But now I hear people using it all the time as a verb. And so I have to admit that it's come into the language, but I get the impression it's come in from foreign speakers of English rather than from the native speakers of English. And I think that happens with a few different words as well. And so that changes the language. But you're right that in Scotland, posh English sounds very different from posh English in London, or formal English. It does sound very different. It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it means that it is confusing. I agree. As we go from as you go from area to area, listening to different types of English can be very, very challenging. And I think they try to test you on it in the CPE. They try and give you Welsh accents and Irish accents, and that makes me feel more sorry for the students because I know how hard it is to listen to someone with a different accent, and you have to wait a little while to kind of tune in to their accent to understand what kind of sounds the person makes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fantastic, Stefano. Let's keep going round and let's go around and do 10 minutes with everybody because I can see we've got lots of people here today, which is great.
Okay.
And yeah, we can talk about whatever you fancy talking about. I do have grammar and vocab. Well, I have the stories as well if you want to do the picture stories, but if there's something else that you want to mention or we want to discuss, let's do it like that. And so on to Maria. Long time no see also, Maria. I recognize lots of faces today, which is fantastic. A couple of new ones, but I recognize lots of you. And sorry for not having a live class for a long time. I've just been quite busy for the last year or so doing new courses. So, Maria, are you there? You've disappeared. Okay, I think Maria's got. You're back.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm back.
It's okay. It's okay. How are you doing?
Hi, nice to meet you, Dave. Hi, nice to meet you, guys. I'm well. Nice winter day here in Sweden. And last week it was all my family had a kind of really nasty virus infection. It was, this whooping cough that everybody.
Whooping cough. Okay, yeah, that sounds
like,
serious. Certainly.
Not the really whooping cough, but it sounds like because you have to choose your cough or you breathe in.
My son has the same thing at the moment. He's got something in his throat and he's coughing a lot.
Yeah, so but we are on kind of recovery phase, so it's good. I could start my job again. But I think it's amazing that just and you're discussing about the dialects different because I live in Sweden, but I originally from Russia, and I think Russia it's really a huge land, and I think it's amazing that we don't have so many dialects in Russia because
I would even say accents. I know what you mean. I would even say accents because you listen to someone from Vladivostok and they're from so far away. They're the same as Moscow. No different at all.
Yes,
from
I'm from St. Petersburg and I can understand people from Siberia, from Vladivostok, you name it. But here in Sweden, I live in Stockholm area and there are some parts of Sweden, both in the south and in the middle part. I can't understand them. Even the original Swedish people cannot understand some very special accent or dialects. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, indeed. So why do you think it is? Why do you think things are so different in Britain and Sweden and in Russia?
I think it should be kind of geographical, historical prerequisite for it. Russia people moved not only during the Soviet time when it was kind of obliged moving people.
Obligatory, yeah. People were obliged to move.
Yeah, some military had to move to another part of the country, to the borderlines. But in Sweden, the people, the northern countries, maybe the same situation in Scotland, that they live in their, close community in some rustic place and don't communicate because you can follow the dialects along the long rivers because they communicate with the boats, but not communicate, up and down.
So it's geographical, yeah, there's a reason. And as you say, it's because people didn't move about so much, but perhaps they stayed there generation after generation and the language changed slowly over time. I know that English, the way English sounds is very different from how it sounded 500 years ago. And so I know that English has changed over time. And for me, when I read the old literature, for example, from 120 years ago, in English, for me, it sounds very, very different, the style of the language. Whereas I must admit, in Russian, it doesn't sound so different to me 100 years ago. If I read someone like Chekhov, or it still sounds to me like modern Russian.
Yes, and I have an amazing example of it. I have a friend, and he's maybe in his 50s, but he was born in San Francisco, but he has a kind of Russian origin, and his grandmom, she was, the old Russian immigrants during the beginning of the last century. So she
Uh-huh.
taught him this, kind of old-fashioned posh Russian. And when he speaks English, it really knows the modern English with many, F words and this kind
Okay,
of stuff.
okay. San
But
Francisco inflection, yeah.
yes, and when he speaks Russian, it's really, old-fashioned Tolstoy-like Russian. I think it's so
I see,
fascinating.
yeah, because it's come from the from his immigrant grandmother, yeah, and she brought over an older style. Yeah, interesting accents. I think accents are always very difficult to deal with, or I find them very hard to deal with when it's a new accent. And I can think of several times where I have found a native speaker very difficult to understand because they come from a different geography than me, or they have a very different background than me. So yeah, very, very difficult to handle accents, certainly. What would you like to see in the next course, Maria? I'm quite curious. I would like to know. I'd like to get some good ideas for what I should be including because I don't want to keep repeating things. And I know it's always possible to do something. Well, to do even something like tenses, which I have done a million times, but to do them in different ways. Is there anything that you would like to see? Any particular topic, Maria, or any vocabulary, any grammar? Can you hear me, Maria? I think uh, your microphone is off. Can you hear me? Is the connection good, guys?
Perfect, Dave.
Oh,
Perfect.
it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I think I've lost Maria then. Perhaps the connection's gone there. Perhaps let's move on to Yoko. Yoko, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Excellent. How are you doing?
All right, stay busy and the demands of
So
using English. Mhm.
what would you prefer to do today? Would you prefer to do vocabulary or grammar? I have a grammar exercise if you want to just do a random grammar exercise to brush
Yeah,
up on your grammar.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
also nice.
yeah.
But my problem is if I start to speak or
Uh-huh.
grammar slips off. So I understand in head. Yeah, not everything, but most of the things, the very basic things.
I
So,
think you have the same problem that everyone has, which is
yeah,
using the
tricky.
grammar in speech is much harder than doing an exercise. Yeah,
And start to be frustrated in me.
it starts to get frustrating. Yeah, it gets
Mm,
frustrating. Of course, I know I understand you, and it's why. Oh, sorry, frustrating. It's
frustrating.
why we have to practice speaking, really. And I always recommend that you come with some kind of little story to tell. I like students to tell stories, maybe something that's happened in their life, maybe something like the picture stories, or maybe literature. If there are any good stories that you've read recently, or any good TV shows that you've seen.
No, story, not much. No, no, not
Not many, yeah, not many.
not
Yeah, that's
many.
fine.
Not
Well,
many.
do you want me to give you a picture to describe, or would you, because the problem with the grammar exercise is it's great for brushing up on old grammar, but it's not using the grammar in real life. In real life, you have to use the grammar as you're explaining something, and that makes it much harder. So, do you want to try one of the stories? Go on.
Yeah, can be.
Yeah,
As long as I can, I can improve some speaking
of course,
in
of
this
course.
10 minutes, then I'm very happy.
Of course. Okay, 1 second. Let's share this, and then we'll go to the picture stories. Okay. Okay, these are Christmas stories. Perhaps we'll go past the Christmas stories and just take one randomly here. Okay, you haven't done this one before, have you?
No, not
Okay,
this one.
What do you see
is
in that first? Oh, let's put it up there. What do you see in this first picture?
Yeah, I see two men is arguing, or I don't know. Perhaps
Good.
the left one is angry
Good.
or
What do you think
demanding to the
Mhm,
person. I'm not
What
sure.
is he demanding? Let's practice using this verb. What is he demanding? He is demanding that. Yeah, demand
No,
works very well with that.
to repair his shoes.
Okay, good. He's demanding that the other man, the other soldier, repair. And notice that we use subjunctive. Yeah, repair his shoes. We don't say the other soldier repairs his shoes or his boots. We say repair. Yeah, and that is the subjunctive right there. It's very rare that native speakers use the subjunctive, to be honest. I think a lot of natives will say he is demanding that the other soldier repairs his shoes. And so don't worry too much if you're never using the subjunctive, because many natives never use the subjunctive. Do you understand me, Yoko?
Yes, more or less.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I just know that there are many English students out there that haven't heard of the subjunctive, and I'm glad you've heard of it. We only need this present subjunctive after certain verbs. Do you know which verbs we use the subjunctive after, or this form of the subjunctive?
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay, it's like suggest, recommend, urge, demand, order. There aren't many verbs that still use the subjunctive. It's almost disappeared from the language, to be honest. And as I say, most natives won't even hear a mistake if you don't use the subjunctive. So don't worry too much about it. Yep. So he is demanding that the other soldier repair his boots. Very good. Keep going.
And the soldier is repairing as he was
Good.
asked. He was asked.
Good. As he was asked, good. And yeah, ask is also on here. I like to remind you though that these verbs, we use the subjunctive usually when you use the word that. Yeah, and we did use the word that there. So, okay, yeah,
So
ask.
I should use that. It's better.
I think so. I think so, yeah. I've never read it in any books, but it seems to me that if you use the word that, it requires the subjunctive then, or it sounds better with the subjunctive. He asked that the other soldier repair his boots. Okay, keep going. So he's cleaning his boots here. He's polishing the boots.
Then the man brought it's a knife. No,
it's bigger than a knife. A sword. Good. It's a sword or a saber or something like that. There are lots of different words for swords. Rapier. I'm not sure the difference, being honest, but okay, good. He bought a sword.
He ordered to fix.
Yeah, I would say to clean, to polish.
To polish.
Good.
And after 4-5, the soldier had to help. What? Well, how can I say?
I would say I would use.
Yeah.
Good, tighten. Tighten is excellent. He asked the soldier to tighten his corset. I think we call that a corset. Yeah. I have never worn a corset. But yeah, to tighten, or you could even say to tighten up if you want to make it more tighter, to tighten up. Or you could even say do up, just like we say do up for do up your shirt, do up your coat. You could even say to do up the corset here. Do up like tie up. Okay, good. Keep going.
So this man is finally well dressed.
Good.
And the soldier is helping him to look even better.
Good.
More authentic. And he is so proud now and walking outside, and he sees suddenly a lady with
Good.
beautiful clothes, and he start to chase her.
Starts to chase her.
Start chasing her.
Good. Starts chasing her.
Let me see. So he wanted to be friendly.
Good. Yeah,
To
he wanted.
her, with her, to her.
Good. With her. He wanted
With
to be
her.
friendly with her. He wanted to
So-
get to know her. Get to know is good here. He wanted to get to know her better.
So he tried to be charming and
Good.
friendly to
Good.
her, and is this man is the same man?
It would still be friendly with her, actually. He starts to be friendly with her.
Then suddenly the lady saw another gentleman, and
Yeah, another gentleman.
yes, and actually they are in love.
They fall in love. Okay, very quickly.
They fall in love, and and she left him, and and she went to this man.
Good. How can we say that? How do we say that?
She chose. I don't know.
How do we say like hold though here?
Hold, embrace.
Embrace, excellent. She embraced this other soldier. Yeah, she held the other soldier in a passionate embrace, you could say as well. But to embrace is usually a verb. She embraced the other soldier. She hugged the other soldier. She cuddled the other soldier. Yeah, cuddle is very common as well. And so I like all students to know that one, cuddle. I think most kids, when they're growing up, I think hear their mum say cuddle for hug for hug. And so we all know cuddle when we're growing up. Okay, yeah. So she cuddled the other soldier. She embraced the other soldier. She kissed him. Excellent, very good, Yoko. Really good. Does anybody have any other questions about this picture? Any other vocab?
Dave,
Please.
I have a question
Please.
about the first thing that you said about the subjunctive after recommend, suggest. I wanted to ask this. Ask, I think that is different than suggest or recommend, because ask allows the structure, I ask someone to do something.
It does, but so does order. Order somebody
Order,
to
yes,
do
but
something.
suggest and recommend, no.
No, they don't. You're right.
Okay.
They don't. They have a different structure. I mean, it's a very good question, just because, yeah, they have a different structure. I was talking about this recently as well. In fact, I've got it written on the board. In fact, what was I talking? Yeah, offer. I was looking at offer and just trying to show that offer and give are very, very similar. You give something to somebody, or you offer something to somebody, or you offer somebody something, or you give somebody something. And I think that they're very similar in meaning as well. Offer is much closer to give, and suggest is much closer to recommend. And suggest and recommend work the same way as well. But yeah, order and ask are very similar. Order somebody to do something, ask somebody to do something. And I agree that that is not subjunctive. When you order somebody to do something, you're not using subjunctive. It's when you order that somebody do something.
So they all allow that plus subjunctive, but they don't all allow someone to
Exactly. Suggest doing, recommend doing, urge somebody to do, order somebody to do, ask somebody to do. So the last three are all the object and then 2 plus infinitive. The last three are like tell somebody to do, ask somebody to do, order somebody to do, urge somebody to do. But suggest and recommend are gerund. Suggest doing, recommend doing.
Okay, great.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, it's confusing with gerunds and infinitives and all these different verb patterns. And really, yeah, suggest and recommend. When you suggest that somebody do something, you're getting very close to suggest somebody to do something, very close. But yeah, it uses the that form sometimes. Suggest that somebody do. Yeah, so all of those, yeah, you can use that and then subjunctive, but without the subjunctive, the first two take gerund, and the last three take object plus two plus infinitive. Okay, so great question. Any more questions on those ones, guys?
I have a vocabulary question because when
Please.
you're traveling, you know, in the touristic areas, they use the word shoe shine. Is a shine and a polish are the same
Yeah,
word?
good. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, when you're traveling in, I wouldn't say touristic, by the way. I would say in a tourist area. We would actually use the noun like an adjective there in a tourist area. Yeah, I wouldn't say touristic, by the way. Just tourist area in a tourist part of town where there are lots of tourists. Yeah, a shoe shiner is someone who shined shoes, and so we do use shine sometimes like polish. And I agree, he is polishing the sword, he is shining the sword. You know, it's better with shoes, actually. He's shining his shoes because we used to say a shoe shine boy for the boy, because it's usually a young boy who would shine your shoes. Yeah, a shoe shine boy. I've heard it in mafia films. They quite often talk about the shoe shine boy. But yes, to shine. Usually, shine is used as a verb meaning the sun is shining. Usually like that, or after you clean something, it is shining because it's so. It reflects all the light. When something shines, it reflects a lot of light. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Any more questions, guys? No, let's go back to, I can't remember who's next. So I think we're on to Mary now. Mary, are you with us?
Yes. Hi, everyone.
So how are you doing today? You good?
Good. Yeah. How are you?
Yeah. So same old, being honest. It's a nice day here. It's nice and sunny here.
Yeah. Regarding the topics of the next course, I was actually thinking I have sometimes troubles decoding. I mean, sometimes people say something, but I don't really get what they mean. You know, the meaning behind things that people say, especially probably in like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel that the cultures are more or less like the same, but then when I start talking to someone, all those little things pop up, and I feel lost in the conversation, because sometimes people say something, for example, if like an Englishman would say like, oh, that's interesting, I would think he's very interested, but from his side, probably he means that like, you know.
What do people really mean? Yeah.
yeah. Like I read it in a book, and I read a book. This Watching the English book.
I do know the book, actually. Yeah, I know the book.
Yeah, probably it's the only book, because I haven't seen any other books. Well, yeah, probably there was one more Becoming a Brit or something by this guy from Czech Republic or something.
Okay, I haven't read Watching the English. I should say that. I haven't read it, but I know of the book because it spoke about English clothes.
Yeah.
How English people dress, and it appeared in one of the English learning books that I use. And so I know of the book, and I think my wife might have even read the book, possibly. But yeah, I imagine that a lot of the book is about how we dress, and how, in comparison perhaps to the people in America, how, and I'm sure we are different. I know we are different in terms of, for example, the TV shows we watch. Usually they will remake an American comedy for a British audience, and the same for British comedies. They will usually remake the comedy for
like The Office.
Like The Office and many other examples. That when I was growing up, any American comedy would be remade, and the same for British comedies. They would be remade for an American audience because they simply weren't funny if they kept them the same. The Americans wouldn't like the British version of The Office. And I think my daughter watches the American version of The Office. So I know that some of the Brits do watch the American version. But generally speaking, I don't find The American Office very funny when I see little parts of it. It doesn't seem to me the same thing. Um, Although, yes, I think that really shows as well how we are different culturally. We have a different sense of humor.
Yeah, so I don't know, as an idea, probably, I would love to watch, like to
So,
I would like you to share some maybe tips about how to decode different things that British people say. Um
that,
and
yeah, I'll think about it. That will be tricky for me. I'll be honest. That'll be very tricky for me because I think that English is very often, I think even when we talk about the English language, very often we mean just the English language in the Southeast, because we're not talking about York, we're not talking
yeah,
about the Southwest, we're not talking
yeah.
about Birmingham, we're not talking about Liverpool. And so very often I feel as though English as Stefano pointed out earlier, it changes from each town has a very different understanding of what English language is and what it means to be English as well. I think people in the north are very different from people in the south. I suppose it's the same in Italy as well, actually, but I think that the general characteristics, the general personality of people in the north differs from people in the south.
Yeah.
When we're just talking about perhaps the natives, certainly they're very, very different in different parts of the country.
Yeah, like you could probably just share your own personal you know view on life and some situations from your life, I mean. And I'm also probably, like, you've done so many videos, but what I like to teach my students, sometimes I just teach them to be funny from level A1.
Uh-huh,
you know
uh-huh. You like comedy during the
which
classes?
which kind of helps, sometimes people to relax a bit, because I noticed that when I was learning other languages, even even though I'm like A1 or A2, I tried to be funny from the very beginning, even with little words or some sort of phrases that I kind of can share with in a conversation, and just being
I
funny,
think, yeah, I
relax
agree.
from the
I
very
think
beginning.
you feel more relaxed, of course, if you're able to use humor and comedy during classes. And I think you feel more fluent if you can understand a joke in the other language. It certainly gives you a lot of confidence when you're talking in another language and people start laughing at what you've said. I agree, it gives you a lot of confidence. You feel as though you've mastered that part of the language a bit. And so, yeah, I agree that it's great to get students feeling that they can relax and
Yeah,
not take their mistakes too seriously. I think that that is a big problem among language learners, that they take their mistakes too seriously. They worry what people will think about them if they say something wrong or if they make a mistake here. And it's usually the barrier that exists in someone's mind that stops them or makes them take much longer to get their sentence out. I have to constantly tell myself to slow down when I'm speaking. And I mean, during the classes, for example, during the lessons that I make, I know I'm often dealing with a high level. And so then I can speak more quickly. They even want me to speak more quickly. But generally speaking, I think it's much better for anybody, no matter what language they're speaking, to slow down so that they have time to think, so that they can make better sentences. So I would advise all students, even in their own language, to slow down and yeah, certainly enjoy yourself while you're speaking the language. So certainly have a laugh, enjoy the comedy, enjoy some humor. So yeah, I think that's a good idea, but I don't know how well I will be able to implement comedy into the next course. It's a tricky one, comedy.
yeah. I know you're more about philosophy, and yeah, because y I saw you explain grammar from a philosophical point of view, and because I was more interested in psychology when I was when I was inventing different methods of how to explain grammar to my students. I implemented, like, I looked at grammar, or at least tried to look at grammar from a psychological point of view. So each time I explain grammar, I just try to teach students how to speak about grammar from a psychological point of view. For example, like, oh, if you feel angry, what would you say in English? Because sometimes I noticed that students have problems. I have problems with expressing my emotions in English as well, because I feel that I would sound, irrelevant or wrong or too blunt or straightforward. That could be like, as an idea again.
No, it's an interesting idea,
Really
because I think
interesting.
I like the idea, because I think it's very much an emotional process.
I noticed
Learning.
that one of my students, she's telling me something in English, she was saying, and then she suddenly started feeling angry and immediately switched to her native language, like
to,
Russian,
to
and
get it off her chest.
she would curse. Yeah, she would curse in Russian. She's like, oh yeah, and then she would switch back to English, and she did it like 4 times during our conversation. And I saw there is a pattern there, and I said,
Yes.
well, okay.
Yeah, very clear pattern. Yeah, being honest, I imagine I have thought about doing slang as well in the next course, because I haven't done anything on slang before. And
Slang
I mean by
avoid.
slang, I mean profane language, really, rather than slang. I haven't done profane language yet, and I could do profanities, certainly. It's something that would be new, and I think it is something that would be interesting for a lot of students, certainly.
I usually try to avoid slang. What would probably be interesting is how to express your emotions in a proper way, using just usual words, but an Englishman, for example, would recognize that you're angry or not happy or shy or interested.
It's a really good idea. I appreciate it. It's a really good idea with emotions. I do agree that you learn a language with your heart rather than your head. I really do. I think that anyone trying to learn it with their head is learning it the wrong way. And even with philosophy and grammar, I would say probably best to avoid philosophy with grammar, just because I think that that's overcomplicating things. With tenses, signal words, forget the philosophy. Signal words. Yeah, exactly. Forget Aristotle's metaphysics. Focus on the signal words. And I think that just because I don't believe that grammar does function on the basis of philosophical principles, I think it is more, it's your heart, it's your emotions. Okay, let's move on to Layla, because I want to get everybody in, make sure everybody gets a session. And so where are you, Layla? I see flags behind you. You look like you're at the United Nations.
Hi everyone, I'm very happy to be here. It's my first time, even though I've been watching your YouTube channel, I don't know since when, like for a long time. Can you hear me well or no?
Yeah, it's great. I hear you. I hear fine.
Yes, thank you so much, because I'm not at home and I'm in a financial academy. That's why you see flags behind me. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here. And about the course, actually, yesterday I've been thinking that maybe.
So yesterday I was thinking, sorry, just because of the signal word, yeah. Yesterday I was thinking, because we say yesterday, we can't use the perfect tense or perfect aspect.
Yes. So maybe something about academic English, like academic phrases, So I think it would be a good idea. And also, like you said just before now, you said that like slang, profanity, I think it would be really amazing.
Okay, yeah. So academic, profanity, both extremes, yeah. The academic and the profane.
Yes. So yeah, just I think that's all for now. But
that's great. I appreciate that. I do appreciate the suggestion about emotions as well. Is really good from Mary as well. Really good, because I do, I know that, that's how you pick up a language. And I haven't done profanities yet. I haven't really done academic English either. And I like academic English because a lot of the time you're actually dealing with advanced vocabulary. Exactly. And so it's nice to, I think a lot of people want to use English at work, and it's nice to feel that you're using an intelligent word or an intelligent phrase rather than something that you might hear in the pub when people are chatting to each other. And it is hard to kind of separate formal English and informal English, or to see the difference between the two, because sometimes you will hear an informal word with somebody's formal statement. And so, it's a good plan. So would you prefer to have a little practice with grammar or vocabulary? Would you like to do one of the stories, or do you want to have a look at some grammar questions? It's up to you.
I'm more into vocabulary.
Excellent. Yeah. And well, I think you're practicing grammar any time that you're looking at the. So you want to describe one of the stories, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
we can
1
do.
second. Let's go on to this. We've done that one. We'll go on to the next one. This is quite a quick one, so perhaps you'll be able to do two. I'm not sure. There aren't so many pictures in here, but what can you see in the first picture?
So I see two people going somewhere, maybe to a beach, maybe because she has something in her hand, holding, like carrying something.
Good. What do you think it is?
I knew this word, but I forgot.
Sorry? It begins with a T, I think.
Towel, yes.
Yeah, I think she's got a towel under her arm. Yeah, excellent.
Yes. And then there's a guy driving a car and saying hello to them.
Good.
Maybe, oh, now it's changed. So maybe he offered them to just give them a ride.
Good.
Only like the girl, actually.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. He didn't offer the guy. The guy's got a bicycle. He's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now they look very happy. Especially the man looks very happy.
Good. Absolutely. This is why he bought the car.
Yeah. Okay. Now, after a while, they arrived at the beach.
Good.
And now, maybe now the two men are arguing about her.
Good. You could say arguing over her. I would actually use a different preposition there. They're arguing over the girl. Yeah. Argue over somebody or something. And it's when you say, that's mine. No, it's mine. No, it's mine. Yeah. Then you argue over it. Two children will argue over a toy, for example. They'll be arguing over a toy. But yeah, they're arguing over the girl. I agree.
Yes.
Good.
And now the man with the car is pissed off.
Good profanity. No, it's not very, you're right, because it's mildly profane. It's very mild, pissed off. It's very, very mild. I don't mind saying that. There are some profanities I will not say during the class, but pissed off is fine. It's good. It's mild.
Yes. And I think that she chose love over money, maybe.
Excellent. And yeah, correct preposition. Love over money. She chose love over money. It does look like that. Yeah, certainly. Excellent. Okay, very good. Keep going. It's a very short one, that one. So, and this one's too similar. So perhaps we'll go past the car ones and come to a supermarket one.
Not me.
Yes. Yeah. Keep going. We still have a few minutes.
Okay. So yes, I see here elderly woman, maybe. No, not so elderly, like middle-aged.
Good.
And she's carrying a trolley.
She's pushing a trolley, I would say. She's pushing a trolley.
Yes. Now she is looking for something.
Good.
Some kind of cans, or I don't know. And then she picked up some bottles of maybe juice or something.
Yeah. Good.
And now she's heading for some, I think, vegetables.
Good.
Yeah, so now her trolley is almost full, but it's not enough for her, so she's adding more and more on top of each other, on top of everything.
Yeah, on top of the pile. Yeah, you can say she's piling up the shop. Yes, piling up. Excellent. She's piling up the shop.
Phrase.
Good.
And then again, it seems like she's greedy.
She's hungry, yeah.
Hungry, or maybe she has a big family, so she needs to buy a lot of stuff.
Good.
And then she's in the, I don't know, dishes section. Can we call it dishes, or?
I think plates, bowls, vases. They look like vases up there or something like that. But yeah, so in the, what do we say for, not cutlery? I'm not sure really, but the china section, where there are bowls, plates, porcelain, maybe.
Yes, porcelain, yes. Okay, then again, she's piling up and up and up over everything. And these are like eggs, maybe? Or not eggs?
I think, you mean these? I think they're too big.
Yes.
But, So yeah, maybe watermelons or something like that.
Yeah. And then she bought something. She also picked up something like a plant. I don't know, it's a plant or looks like a plant.
In the last picture, or
yes,
I think
yes.
I think that's her purse. I think that she's looking in her purse. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
I think she's clutching her purse. She's holding her purse, but she's checking her money. This is a long time ago.
Yeah. So I think that she doesn't have enough money to buy all these things, to purchase all these things. Good. So she leaves them all and just goes her way.
Yeah, just walks away with a Toblerone, I think, or something like that. Yes. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure. It looks like a Toblerone to me, but just walks away with some kind of chocolate bar.
Yes. It's
okay.
Me.
Excellent. Any questions about any of the pictures there or any of the vocabulary? Like pile up is a good one, by the way, that you can, and I can hear that you already use this word, which is great. She was piling up the shopping in her trolley. You can pile something up somewhere as well. Anybody else have any questions about this one? No? Okay, let's move on to Paris now, I think. Yeah, Paris, can you hear us?
Yes.
Hello. How are you doing? Is it your first time here?
Yes.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself. Where are you from?
So hi, I'm Paris. I currently live in London. I work in London, and I'm from Taiwan.
How long have you been living in London?
So I've lived in London for five years. Yeah.
Okay. Do you like it?
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, compared to other European countries, I think it's kind of in a balance, like not too fast and not too slow, because I also lived in Paris before, and it was a disaster. Because the administrative efficiency, all those things.
Bureaucracy, bureaucracy in Paris.
Bureaucracy.
Red tape. Okay, interesting. Really interesting to hear what you think about Paris.
Yeah, so it's good for traveling, but not good for living. So I prefer London, and I also I lived in Tokyo for a while as well. So compared to that, it's more hectic, and fancier. I just say consider the concept of a metropolitan. But
it's more hectic in London than Tokyo. Yeah.
No, Tokyo is more hectic, and
okay.
I believe it's actually more metropolitan alike. So, and you have a really abundant nightlife. So, and also a bunch of gadgets you can shop around, which you rarely you probably can do in Selfridge or somewhere, but it's limited, right? It's not like all those cool shops around. So London is kind of in a balance.
Okay, yeah, somewhere in the middle between Paris and Tokyo.
Yeah, I believe so. And even people are like that a little bit, so I prefer that. Yeah.
I see. I would love to go to Tokyo. I plan on going to Tokyo one day to see the place. I've never been to Japan, and I've never been further east than Moscow. I would like to go further east to see Asia and to see lots of different places.
Please do. Yeah, it will be another experience, like a new experience, I believe. Yeah.
Certainly it will, certainly. Fantastic. Okay, and so what would you like to do today? Would you like to practice your grammar or your vocabulary, or do you have any suggestions for the next course or something that you'd like to learn about?
Yeah, I think focus on grammar or like the exercise here is great. I know what you mean, like the pronunciation, it could be really tough, or like leave it to maybe a different expertise to correct. Yeah, that.
Pronunciation is always tricky, and yeah, it's speaking, of course, which helps that. And of course, the more you do it, the easier it gets. But yeah, I think it's always tricky. So would you like to do one of the stories?
Yes, please.
Yeah, excellent. Well, we can do these. But if anybody ever has their own story, of course, we can do that as well. If you've got something that you've watched, a video or anything like that, that's also good as well. Okay, can you see this? The pictures? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and so you've got this one first. I'll come out just so you can see the whole story because it's kind of there is a story
Okay.
here. Yeah, can you see this story?
Yes, yes.
Okay, you might want to see the whole story first with this one. In fact, with all of them, it makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so what do you see in that first picture?
So it's a shoes factory.
Good, good.
And a lot of people working. You have so many different machines, equipment to make. Yeah, it's a product line. And
Very good.
then the next one I see.
Who do you think these two people are here?
Oh yeah, I should totally ignore them.
That's okay.
It looks
It's okay.
like based on their attire.
Attire, good. Based on their attire, very good.
Based on their attire, they are supposed to be boss. And based on the following graphic, maybe in designer as well.
Good, very good, excellent. It's the boss and the designer of the factory. Excellent. Maybe the architect of the factory, or certainly someone who knows about all the machines in the factory.
Okay, yeah.
Very good.
Okay.
So what do you see in the next picture?
So I guess the boss asked the engineer or designer to revamp the whole factory.
Yeah, to reinvent the whole place. Good.
Yeah, to just cut all the workers to slack them.
Good.
Yeah.
He wants to downsize. Yeah, I think we often use that verb here. He wants to downsize the factory. He wants to downsize the number of workers at the factory. Do you know what we call it? You've got great vocabulary, by the way. I like to tire. What do we call this part here at the bottom? Do you know what we call that? It's the shoes are moving.
Cobalt.
A conveyor belt. Excellent. Conveyor belt.
Conveyor belt.
You're very close there, but yeah, conveyor belt. It's a belt. It's a conveyor belt. Yeah. Okay, very good. So what does the designer, the architect do?
Sorry?
What does the architect do in these pictures? What's he doing here?
So he's re-engineering. Yeah, and to also make a graphic.
So good. He's made a blueprints, I would say, for here rather than graphic. Yeah, he's making the blueprints, and I think we often say blueprints for that. But yeah.
Okay.
Good.
And so yeah, and then he showed the blueprint to the boss, and the boss was happy about that, and voila, the new factory has been made. It's there, and the boss just say, now see, all the things are automatically produced.
Good.
So you don't need to work anymore. You don't need to come here to work anymore.
Good. He sacks everybody. Yeah, he sacks everybody to sack or fire the workers. Good. He sacks everybody. He doesn't need them anymore. He's got a special machine. Very good. And what can you see in the last picture?
And so then it's like and as the result, it leaves a bunch of people who have no money, just like they can only window shopping all those new shiny shoes.
Good. And what can you tell me about? Can you describe the people? What do they look like? What are they wearing? Tell me about their attire. I like that word, attire. Tell me about their attire. I do like it. It was you used it absolutely right. Based on their attire, it was great. So tell me about their attire.
So their attire, I would say, it's not really poor or homeless, but more like a middle class, but not with less money.
Look at their feet.
They don't have shoes, right?
They don't have any shoes on, yeah.
Yeah, they don't have shoes on, but then based on their other clothes, like attire, it's still not that
You know, this picture is from, I think it's probably 100 years ago, maybe 100 years ago. And I find it interesting that I think we're still talking about a very similar topic in the newspapers, for example, all the time, but not only in the newspapers. What do you think it's trying to say? This story. I mean, what do you think is the message of the story?
Like when people on the top or those management only do the top-down decisions that they think benefits, or like just to increase the efficiency, to earn more money. But then the results, the whole cycle is like you have an unbalanced and like this poor society, because those people who don't have money don't to buy your productions.
Good, your products.
Yeah, your products. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, I think that this is certainly a social comment about, different social classes, different economic classes. By the way, we always say make a decision rather than do a decision. It's always make a decision. And my advice with make and do is that you make things very often that you say. Make a comment, make a promise, make a suggestion, make a recommendation, and make a decision. Okay, you don't say anything, I agree, when you make a decision, but similar to the speaking make ones, with make a suggestion, make a comment. And so do use make for speaking, use do.
Make a call.
Make a call is good, make a call, excellent. But use do for work. Do your duty, do a task, do a report, do an essay, even schoolwork, even housework. Do the dishes, do the ironing, do the cleaning. Yeah, do is usually work, but make is very often speaking in some kind of way, or maybe money related. Make money, make a fortune, make profits. Because money is also usually it's making money. Okay. Does anyone else want to say anything about this particular picture? Because I think it is something. It's a topic that very often.
Maybe the message is that the automation will make everybody unemployed.
Yeah, the machines are going to take our jobs. I keep getting told that the AI is going to take my job one day. I'm terrified of the AI taking my job. But
I was listening to a video today from one of the AI guru who was saying that plumbers.
Don't pronounce the B just because it's MB. Plumbers will last more than lawyers with AI. They will last longer than lawyers,
Yeah, they will last longer than lawyers. Lawyers will be unemployed in a short time than.
That's a shame.
Than lawyers.
It's so true that it will take some jobs much faster than other jobs. I think, in translation, it has already put a lot of pressure on how much money translators can make. I actually have a student who used to work in translation, but now she works in teaching. And certainly it was related to AI. And so I agree that some jobs are in danger, but it's actually perhaps not as many, I think, as we're told. And certainly plumbers, I think, are not in danger at all. We still need to stay warm in winter. Yeah, we still need to have hot water coming out of the tap.
But I think that they imply much more skills, manual job, compared to even if it doesn't sound like this,
you shouldn't say much more skills. Actually, you should say far more skills or many more skills, just because much and skills doesn't go well together. Yeah, much for uncountable, many for countable. But you need a lot of skills. I would say a lot of, because it's positive.
Skills, because I think that AI is more on the intellectual side of things. And it's difficult to replicate the movement of people, the manual skills of people. It's far more difficult to do this, I think.
I think it really helps us understand once again that manual skills are very important.
Yeah.
And that I think it's a lot of people might consider plumber a very low profession in the UK anyway. Some people might consider plumber a very unimportant profession, the kind of profession you wouldn't want your child to perhaps work towards. But I think that maybe we have to reevaluate that
Sure.
idea, because of course we need plumbers, we need electricians, and they're extremely useful, these jobs. When you need a plumber or when you need an electrician, you won't be able to ask Grok or ChatGPT to fix your boiler. But yeah, we had a problem with our boiler not so long ago, and it's getting harder and harder to find a plumber who will come in for a little job, because they've got so much work. They don't want to come in for a little job, where they're only going to be there 5 minutes. So yeah, of course, world is changing, and we will see with AI which jobs it takes and which jobs it doesn't take. But thank you guys for coming today. I've really enjoyed it. That's been fantastic. I'm planning on the next one on Wednesday the 11th at 1 o'clock, by the way, UK. If you can make that, that will be fantastic. How does that sound for you guys? I mean, does that sound difficult or easy? 1 o'clock on a Wednesday.
It's good for me.
Yeah. How do you think, Yoko, Leila, Maria, Stefano? What do you think about the 11 on Wednesday at 1 o'clock? Would that be difficult or easy?
Let's see if I can make it.
Yeah.
It's very late for me. 1 o'clock, then
Yeah.
10 o'clock here in the evening. It's too late for me.
Oh, okay,
Not
I
for
see.
next time. Yeah, if you can make a little bit earlier, then
It works for you as well, Leila? Excellent. Okay, well, I think provisionally we'll pencil in the next one for Wednesday, the 11th of February. Remember this phrasal verb as well. We'll pencil it in. It just means provisionally. It's not definite. It's tentative is another good word here. It's a tentative plan. If something is tentative, you've just penciled it in. It's not solid yet. It's a provisional plan. And so we'll pencil it in for Wednesday the 11th, but I will email everybody, and I'll put the message up in the Grammar Shed as well. But I think that will be the next one. Okay? Okay, fantastic. Okay, I'll see you all in a couple of weeks, perhaps, or in 12 days or so, perhaps. Have a great weekend, whatever you get up to. I've got to go to Brazil now to have a class, not go to Brazil, but it will be online. But I better dash because I want a quick coffee. I'll see you all in a few days. Yeah.
Have a nice day.
My pleasure,
Have a
guys.
nice
Have a nice
weekend.
weekend.
You too. Speak soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.